Okay.
Stick it under the document.
Go ahead.
Nicole. Big thing for us is data-driven instruction, and so one low area we're in, an area we're low in is area and perimeter. And I pulled it off Study Island, and we're 59% right now. And they can do area all day long, they do perimeter all day long, but once you interchange them, it's like, oh my gosh, which one do I do? Do I add here or do I multiply? And so here are some activities we've come up with to kind of clear the confusion. So Miss Colvin is actually going to do an area and perimeter song, and it goes to the tune of Farmer in the Dell. So
And if you look at the second verse, which is the area one, those are actually the second two lines. One of my students was trying to write it down, and he couldn't remember all of it. One of his teachers taught him. The actual first two lines of the second verse are area is inside. Area is inside. So it goes like this, and if you want to sing along, you can help me out. Perimeter is around, perimeter is around. Oh, oh, don't you know, perimeter is around. You add up all the sides, you add up all the sides. Oh, oh, don't you know, you add up all the sides. And then area is inside, area is inside. Oh, oh, don't you know, area is inside. You measure length times width. You measure length times width. Oh, oh, don't you know, you measure length times width. He was trying to remember, and his memory was a little faded because one of his teachers taught him at, I believe, Bunn Elementary. And he couldn't remember all the words. So when he heard me sing this, he said, "That's it, Mrs. Colvin." But I listened to the kids, and I gave them a Classcape assessment, and they did terribly with length or with area and perimeter. And we did this song. We learned it well enough to go over and perform it for the other fourth grade. And then I listen when they give them the work in the classroom, because I'll hear some of them sitting there either singing the words to themselves or humming, so that they can remind themselves which one to do. And like Nicole said, it's a real problem for them to tell the difference when you mix them together. They get everything all mixed up, and this is something that sticks in their heads. Our school does daily singing of the patriotic songs, and they got a brand new song last week, and I was the only one singing. This week, everyone in the class is singing, because they remember the things that, you know, with the tunes and the words, they can put them together and remember what they're doing. So you'd be surprised how quickly they learn using music. So it's a fun idea, and the kids like it.
That's a good one. The next one is the area count and perimeter march. And this, Youngville talked about differentiation, the different learning styles. We have desks, and we have them in my room. They have them clumped in fours. And so what I do to show area and perimeter is, one thing is I have the kids stand up and measure their desks. So this would be 1, 2, you know, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. It gets them moving. And then I have the one kid sit on each desk, which is dangerous. Be careful. And we count the perimeter, and the area, and we compare, okay, the perimeter is 8 and the area is 4, so they see and they're moving, because that helps with the different learning modalities. That's another thing. The last thing we have is an activity with dice. It's more for our visual people. So, and you have an example of this on the bottom of your paper. What I did is I took a half sheet of paper and labeled one side area and one side perimeter. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to pass out the slides and let you do it, so just bear with us, right? And you'll work in pairs, and my partner would roll the dice. And so, let's say she rolled a 6 and a 4. She has to make an array of area of 6 times 4, which would be 24. And this also can be differentiated, because for your lower kids, they're rolling dice with 2, 3, 4 on them, because they don't know what 9 times 9 is, unfortunately. And your StarQuest kids or your AIG kids can roll higher numbers like 9, 10, 11. And they can make, the lower kids can make the arrays, but area doesn't necessarily have to be rectangle, right?
Ms. Colvin, go over some more.
Because they have the hardest time with pieces that are not regular polygons. So for your higher kids, you can have them do irregular polygons for the area. And then if I rolled a 6 and a 4 for my area, my perimeter would be 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. So they have to show the difference on their paper and glue them on. So they're kinesthetically moving the pieces, and they're also visually seeing them. And so you have a copy of that on the bottom of your paper. So even though we didn't do it, you still have all the information. And that's it.
Thank you.
I didn't get my 6 up.